Alright, there. Hello, everyone. Soulsor17 here. Let me first, like usual, this picture does not pay video. Alright, okay. So, here's the thing. I was recording this, and my recording stopped. I had to check something, and it just stopped on me. So, I am basically, just letting you guys know that, the stats are basically different. It was 29, and I had Izuku, go up to 4. So 30, 31, 32, 33. And that was because, of floor 79. And then he's going to go up before he went to floor 80. So yeah. So please understand that. I even put some points into sense and intelligence. Izuku now can use up to 200 shadows as his army, and I'm going to keep increasing and putting points into his intelligence more now, because I'm going to have, later on, I'm going to have him be basically fighting in dungeons more. So yeah. But anyways, let me just get through this. Let's just get to the part where I was at. So yeah. Alright, so as this is what Izuku has solo level in part 5. The system part 5, So as Izuku puts on his the ring to give water protection, along with his poncho. Yes, poncho that has elemental resistance. So, he's saying, no, now I'm prepared for this. I need to go in and get this done quickly. As Mika says with War, he says, Izuku, just calm down, please. As he does say, how can I be calm when I forgot to mention my mom is sleeping. So yeah, but it says, how can I be calm when my mom is about to die? I don't know how long she has. She just got it, she said. Last week. But still, who knows how long she has. I'm not gonna wait. I'm not gonna just let it all just crumble and just be left alone. Mika, she's the only person that I have in my life right now that is my family. My grandparents, I don't know what about them. It's she keeps it a secret from me, but all I know is I talk to them, but I don't know where they live. I can't remember, actually. But something happened, and my mom talks about them time to time. As Mika understands, she just says, alright, but just don't rush in head first without being rational and thinking. So please just calm down. Take a deep breath in and out. As Izuku does. He's calming down. His mind's not clouded. And he says, alright, thanks. Just no problem. Now then, let's get this done. He goes, sure. So, Izuku takes at least 2 steps, and then he gets a quest. Saying, to defeat Barak. Yeah, Barak. It's not Baruka? Yeah, it's not him. So yeah, Barak. And well, if he defeats him, he got a bonus along with a item. So yeah. So let's just, as he goes, alright, I'll get that quest done. So yeah, so Izuku, he goes to the portal where, he'll be transported through the levels. By floor levels, I mean. And it's asked which one would you like to go to. You can go up to from 1 to 76. Zuko says 76. As soon as he gets there, he summons out his shadows. Tusk has the orb of adversity, as in he basically grows in size, and then fires out a dragon shot, which destroys a whole lot of environment and demons. As Zuko thinks to himself, he should be nerfed. He's a shadow. But it looks like giving him that orb made it where he's 2 to 3 times stronger than his old self. Neat. And so then Izuku just tells all his forces, saying, split into groups. He basically splits them off into groups, and then they all go out. So Team A, Igris and his knights. Team B, Tusk. Team C, Tank. Team A, B, C. Team D, Barak. And Team E, basically Iron and some high orcs. And then high orcs. So basically 2 Fs, Team F, second Team F, both of those teams, F, basically the second and first F teams, basically, they are scouts, along with Tank and Barox. He's that elf, that Yaki boss, basically. They are scout and attack force. So yeah, so they spread out, and immediately Izuku started getting points. So after about an hour or so, Izuku finds one of his teams finds the scroll to go up to the next floor, and then they continue on doing with that, the exact same thing. But Izuku noticed that his team has grown in strength by a level, which is pretty impressive. Tank and Igris are level 24 by the time they go up to the next floor. And I'm saying their max is 50. I think. It might be 100. I don't know. For now, I think it's 50. Someone tell me, but I'll change it then. I'll write comment saying it's 100 or so. But yeah, Izuku noticed that he's impressed by this, and soon he's thinking maybe he can have them change, they'll be able to change or go even stronger now if he allows them to. So yeah, so from the floor, from 76, so then 76, 77, 78, and 79, Izuku has leveled up 4 times. And, well, his stats have increased to be some of them are almost to 400. His strength is 309, his agility is 370, his sense is 342, his vitality is 372, his intelligence is 356, and his level is 133. His points are only 14 since I put them in already. So yeah, so Izuku basically gets to floor 80, and then what happens next is, he starts, his team starts killing off enemies. After 30 minutes of it, he knows that a group of his, shadows was destroyed. And then he recalls them because they were in a fight, they kept on losing. So then after that, he basically starts mapping it out as another team is destroyed. And then he basically called them back, and he's still gaining levels from them, killing monsters, killing demons. Sorry, but anyways. So So he maps out. He says Tusk's team was wiped out along with the second scout team, the other high orcs, second F team. So basically, Mika says maybe it's demons with intelligence. I mean, if you basically they're planning this out, they should be smart, right? As if nods, and he goes like they took out the weakest members of the team. There's gonna be a problem. Let's next team probably tank. So let's get this over and done with, Mika. She goes, right, Zuko. As they go to where Tank is, but he's in stealth and he's just waiting. As the demons that are on horses comes, having demon knights come out on horses as one of them charges at Tank and basically hurts him, and he starts to heal. I should mention, Deku does not have the Nomu out. The Nomu is, well, kind of like a trump card. So yeah, I'm leaving him as a trump card. I know I gave him a name. I did not write it down, so you may hear me change the name a few times. But yeah, I did not watch the video. I'm just making this video because it's not like 3:21, so this is gonna be like a quick one because I'm tired. I need to sleep. I think I named it Mark, Mitsu, Mari. No, not Mari. Moto. Probably named Moto. Whatever. So, as soon as Tank gets it, Izuku rushes in with Mika, just watching. Izuku basically comes out of nowhere, punches one demon in the face, then Tank is then brought back. Tank is then brought back into the shadow along with his team, and Izuku fights off three of the three of the demons by himself. He basically uses Dominant's hand, pulls one of the demons in front of their friend as they stab them, and then Izuku uses this opportunity to cut both of those head off, as the one of them is just getting mad and runs over to Izuku trying to kill him, as then he just disappears and he's just dead. As Izuku looks over at the final one and he says, I wonder, for the longest time, did monsters like you feel fear? As this person's shaken, well, it's a she, but whatever. As this demon tries to hit Izuku in the head, chest, and vital areas. 3 to 4 vital areas, as Izuku's pretty much impressed. So he cuts the whole entire spear into pieces, and then he's about to slash at this demon as she says, I give up, please, don't kill me. She just says like that. As Izuku goes, wait, as Miku even saying exactly the same thing. That's a girl's voice. As Izuku takes off the helmet, and immediately his face gets a little red. He's thinking, no. Stay focused, Izuku. Don't fall in love with this girl. He goes, who are you? She goes, my name is, well, Esil? E-S-I-L, Esil? Maybe it has an E at the end too. Hold on. E-S-I-L, Esil. No E. So, yeah. She says, I'm a part of the, and Zuko says, don't care. As he kind of just goes sees something, and he goes, what's that behind your back? She goes, what do you mean? He was like, come on, let me see. She goes, no. As, he activates Bloodlust, which gets her, unable to move. And so, he sees the dagger. He was like, nice little toy. As he throws it over into the rubble and such, as she was, eventually he deactivates the Bloodlust. And she goes, that's mean. He's like, yeah, whatever. You're gonna try to kill me eventually with it, so I just took it, threw it away. she basically asks, like, who are you? He goes, Zuka Midoriya. It's nice to meet you, Ezel. And so, he's like starting off a conversation with her. Asking her like he's looking for like he kind of asks her questions like, and then she reveals that she was her eyes opened here. They're in the demon world, but now her eyes opened here. So it was like they were brought here. He asked for what? They say war. Same thing like in the comic of Solo Leveling. But then she passes out. He catches her, and then he thinks to himself, "The system. It's not letting me figure out the truth, huh? Oh, this is gonna be one big mystery I'm like solving." So, so he lets her sleep, and then like demons do try to kill him and her. He takes them out. He levels up though to level 40. To level 134. I will level him up then. After so basically, after like that, a few hours of waiting, Ezra wakes up saying, "Oh, my head." He was like, "Finally awake, huh?" She goes, "Huh, what happened?" And he was like, "Oh, nothing. Just these demons tried to attack us and you. Well, us basically. And I just protected you." And she's shocked. So, you know, she asks, "Why are you, here?" And he just says, "Oh, I'm just here just to go up further, to the top, basically. I'm just passing through. And I've been looking for the pass to go up to level 81. She goes, "Oh, then my family's guarding it, so if you really need it, I can take you there. And my father and you can talk." And he goes like, "All right, thanks." So yeah, so she takes him there, and he's saying, "Huh, a castle within a castle. Weird." Whatever. So they walk in. Ezo says, "Father, I'm back." As in, she's in like her father's freaking out and saying like, "You brought this man with his army here." As she goes, "What?" As all the guys are basically like have their swords on Izuku, and he goes, like all with about to try and kill me things getting old. Yo, hey, I only need two things. He was like, "Wait, what do you mean you only need two things?" He was like, "Yeah, one, I'm gonna need that pass to keep going up, and two, I'm gonna need a guide." And which then he puts his hand on her shoulder and says, "I'd like to borrow her then, for a guide." As the father is just getting angry, and then he goes like, he takes his hand off her shoulder. He was like, "Did I piss him off just by doing that?" So he starts arguing with Izuku because, well, he doesn't believe him and such. Izuku is making his case. So after, explaining and convincing, he goes, "My apologies. Allow me, to treat you to a meal." And so Izuku eats with them. Azel cannot take her eyes off of Izuku. After that, like, her face has been blushing. Izuku's face is, blushing a little too. And with Miko just like teasing him a little bit, saying, "Izuku has a crush, Izuku has a crush." And it's just like, he's just thinking to himself, "Why me?" But yeah, so basically, what happens like is like, he says, "Truly, you only want the pass and the guide as my daughter help you." He goes, "Yeah, that's it. Nothing more, nothing else." He was like, "All right." As they give him the pass, but he says, "If anything happens to my daughter, anything at all, I will personally hunt you down and try to kill you." As Izuku then just looks at him, and his eyes are just glowing blue, and he goes, "Try me, old man. I can kill you in a second." As then Izuku goes into use his stealth, and just the blades right at the basically Elsa. I need to write her name down. Hold on. Ezel's father's neck, in which he's shocked by this. He goes, "I was only testing your skills. You have a lot of tricks up your sleeve, young man." He was like, "Of course I do. How else do you think I've been able to kill all these demons?" "Anyways, thank you, sir, for allowing your daughter to help me." This would be a big help. So I'll return the favor. He goes, well, he was like, you say you're the lowest, of the demons clan, right? As he nods, he goes like, I'll kill every one of them, all the clans, and I'll take down the king. He'll be the only ones at the top, which he's shocked, and Ezel is too. He goes, but I'll come back and ask for, well, a reward then. He goes, yes, I'll give you anything. I'll be eternal grateful if you do that. He was like, alright, thanks. So, so Izuku does, Ezo does get her gear and such. Izuku and her go to the next floor. He asked though, also like, and there was like that little party thing where, she'll gain experience. So, he just tells her he'll do most of the work. She just stays by. She goes, alright, so that's it. And then they go to the next floor and he asks about the horses. And the only one with the, ability to ride horses, but it'll be shared. Can be the only one of the party to basically share that, since, she can't. Then, yeah, hold on. Alright, so, as I was saying, so basically, after a few minutes of walking, they get to the castle area. As, she says, Izuku, sir. Hey, he just says, you just call me Izuku. She goes, Izuku, Sir Izuku. He was like, just Izuku, please. What is it then, Ezel? She basically says, we should probably negotiate with this clan. And they may give us the, pass to go up further then. As, she says with uncertainty, she's not saying it with confidence. He goes, let me guess, they look down upon your clan because they're the weakest. And she nods and he goes like, then they won't give us it. I'll have to take it by force. She goes, but how? It was easy. Just watch. Because shadows will fall upon them today. As, all of a sudden he starts summoning out his shadows. So, hold on. I need to add one more to everything. So, in a minute. Alright. So, yeah. So, after a few minutes of fighting and screaming happening, it goes all silent. And they get the pass. And, well, by the time where Izuku gets to floor 87, I'm just skipping around, he has taken out most of that clan. And he has gained, since he was, if Sun Jin Woo was 81 and he was like up to 87, 89, he probably gained level by 2 on one of them, and then what was that again, the rest by 1, so he went up by 8. So Izuku gains the same experience. He goes up by 8. His level now is something. So 134 plus 8. You do the math. I will later. But yeah. So Ezel says, I can't believe you already took down half of the clans. And he goes, yeah, I don't have much time. I gotta keep going, even if I get tired. In which she asks why. He just says, my mom, she's sick, and, well, the holy water of life could help her, and cure her disease. And when she goes, so you, yeah, I came here for this, for basically to get that. Nothing else. Besides also leveling up was secondary. I only care about saving my mom. Nothing more, nothing else. And then, Ezo can see the look of sorrow and determination in Izuku's face and eyes, and she's astonished and kind of upset there was nothing else. And then Izuku says, but I did not know demons could talk. If I'd known that, well, I would have tried to negotiate. but they're mindless ones, and then there's ones with intelligence. As she nods, like me, she says, and he was like, yeah. They kind of have a chuckle at this, and then their faces are both like kind of going red. He was like, anyways, let's go. She was right, and they just leave. They go to the next floor. So about let's say, so after he wait, I have to do it now. So like I said, 2 at 1, and so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So he's up to 139. So give me a minute, everyone. So I'll be back in a couple minutes. Alright, so his strength is at 318, his agility is at 379, his sense is at 356, his vitality is 381, and his basically intelligence is at 365. So now he can do up to 210 shadows. So yeah. So Izuku, they go up the next couple of levels. His leveling is, one like it's getting harder to level up. So by the time they get up to floor 89, I mean not 89, 98, Izuku has only leveled up twice. The reason why is I don't know much what happens besides fighting, so that's the reason why it's like this. I'm only going with what I know from the manga, the online one. So yeah, as Ezel says, well, that's nearly all of them. We only got one more left, and that's the next one, and then the top floor. As Zukunada says, yeah, and this is where we can part ways. She goes, what do you mean? He was like, you done your job. I take the rest of it from here. As she says, I'm useless now, but I want to stay by him. As Izuku just says, that's what I do want to tell you, but I wanted to bring you along. Have you just come along and finish your job, basically. Her eyes kind of like lit up a little, and she was, but then she asked why. He was like, well, I truthfully, as Mika is just telling him, oh come on, just tell already. He goes, I want to get to know you better. All right. Her face goes red, and she goes, what do you mean? He just says, I might have fallen for you. I don't know, since I haven't had a crush on a girl in about 5 years. So yeah. Also, how old are you? She goes, human years, I'm 16. I just turned 16, and in demon years, I'm a lot older. And he goes like, all right, kind of makes sense. I mean, demons do live for a very long time. She goes, and yeah, but you're technically though 16, right? She goes, yep, technically I am. All right, I don't care. She goes, what do you mean? I was like, oh, nothing. He's thinking, demon years, I'm not counting them. As Mika does say, you're not counting those demon years, are you? He was like, nope. So yeah, so let me just add 2 more levels for everyone. Alright, I'm not gonna, tell you, but, well, actually, yeah, strength is 320, agility is 381, sense is 358, vitality is 383, and, Intel is 367. Points are 27 now. Izuku can do like 2 extra shadows. So 12. So yeah. So they go up to yeah. So basically he goes up to 99, or they clear it out, and they go up to, well, floor 100. But when they get there, it's basically open sky, ruins, and then like Izuku is wondering, I wonder where's the boss. Don't tell me I have to wait a certain time period. That usually happens in RPGs. As then all of a sudden Izuku gets this weird feeling, this sense of, well, power. As then all of a sudden a creature comes out of nowhere while something's riding on its back. As Ezel is feeling the aura from the boss, Barak, the Demon King Barak, and well, Izuku just saying to himself, "Can I win? Am I able to defeat him?" Because everything's a lot tougher in this one. So yeah. So Izuku does say, "No, I gotta beat him." And then he looks at Ezel. He goes, "Ezel, if you think you can't win, get out of here as soon as possible. All right?" She nods, and so Demon King Barak starts to summon out demons. As Izuku just says, "So you like to summon demons, huh?" As then he said, as all of a sudden, like his shadow warriors come out along with the Nomu. Well, Nomu, Zero, I think I called him. I'm trying to remember if I think I called him Zero. So yeah. As Zero comes out, he tells him, try to take out as much monsters as you can. Your regeneration, with your quirk also is around, so remember that. As he nods. So the shock absorption, he thinks he can, it can easily take on like most attacks, but not swords or daggers, which some of them don't have. Which he tells them to go over in that direction, and he's gonna command them in which direction to go in. Which Ezo's kind of shocked by this, and so he says, "All right, guys, you know the deal. Now go." As they all just charge forward, while Barak's forces go in too. Tusk is in the back, using magical spells, along with the other mages, and Izuku goes in rushing, just starts hacking and slashing at some of the enemies with his sword. Also, someone did ask if his sword would go green. Izuku's hair color changed, and his eyes, the blue flames was a representation of that. His hair color was going to change, so no, the flames are blue. The flames will be blue. So yeah, just want to let you know that was like a foreshadowing I was doing. I know it was not obvious, but that was technically a foreshadowing. But yeah, so Izuku's using the sword, and then he switches out to the guns. Basically, real quick. Which Ezo is very shocked by this. And then heck, Izuku basically holds out his hand and just says, "I hope you all like this." As then all of a sudden his hand started glowing red as Ezo doesn't understand what's happening. And then he just says, "Eat this! AP shots!" Level 2 allows him to be able to create different explosions, as he's basically creating an AP shots, which he basically came up with that idea before Bakugo. It also was in a move that he had to learn. Sorry, I'm just getting tired of one. So but I'll continue on with this. This is gonna be an hour or something minute long. So yeah, so Zuko's basically destroying them with his AP shots, and his forces are taking out that on the demons, which is very surprising. Then like basically, Zuko dodges an attack. Iron comes out of nowhere, hits him with his shield, and then Izuku sees the Demon King and the Wyvern as he says, "Tank!" and not tank, he says, "Iron! Throw me!" As Iron looks like was like, and tilts his head, he was like, "Throw me! Throw me at that Wyvern!" As he points over to, the Demon King. As Ezra was just shocked by this. As, Iron nods, he basically grabs Izuku and just chucks him, which then like Izuku tries to get out his dagger and tries to clip off the wing of the wyvern, which the Demon King protect and sends Izuku flying around mid-air. Tusk then fires off a fireball at the wyvern, which kills it, and going down as Izuku lands. The basically Demon King is ready to fight Izuku. So yeah, so Izuku basically says, "All right, now this is gonna be fun." As he activates sprint and just runs at the Demon King right away. As the Demon King, does slash at Izuku dodges it and starts like going. He basically is making multiple slashes in a very fast period of time. Along then with Igris that comes over and helps him tank, and Barox, and Iron does too, which they are basically driving him, like really cramping down to his health, which Ezel is shocked by this, as she's thinking, how powerful is Izuku? I mean, he keeps on getting stronger and stronger, and she's just amazed by it, as Mika is just watching this with her eyes widened. She can't believe what's happening. This is a fight for the ages, she's thinking. So, anyways, so while the fight's happening, the Demon King basically gets enraged, has a kind of like a shockwave happen, and he has daggers come out. As Zuko basically switches and like grabs the gun and changes them into dagger form. As then like basically the Demon King runs at Zuko, Zuko runs at him, and they both collide. Daggers in like both hands are like trying to fight for supremacy. As like then the Demon King does kick Zuko, send him flying as he does catch himself. Then he uses Dominator Hand to like pull himself to the Demon King, and then use Vital Strike in his foot and kicks him right in the side. As he's thinking, I should at least done something. As then he just takes the dagger and like cuts a few like cut marks on him. As Zuko had to but then like Zuko does get like grabbed by the Demon King and slammed into the ground. And before anything, and then like Izuku gets up really quickly, but when he turns around, his daggers are not in his hand. He has to catch both hands of the Demon King, and like the Demon King did not do his AOE attack, but Izuku probably knows he has one. But at point blank range, he tries to fire a beam of fire at Izuku, and she goes, "You gotta be kidding me! Up this close!" And then like then Ezel, throws her staff, hitting the Demon King, which gives him which Izuku says, "Thanks." As in he puts all his strength, not points, but all his strengths with his staff, as he rips both arms of the Demon King. Then all of a sudden he grabs his katana, as in he uses Shadow Slash and slashes downwards. As basically what happens is the slash goes down, there's a freaking cut into the ground, but then a little like explosion goes upwards of like pure blue and black flames, and then disappears. Zuko, puts away the sword as he recalls his daggers, changes them to guns, and puts them in the holster. All the demons are basically defeated, but Izuku levels up. I think 2 more times. And he gets a... Basically, he completed his task in the mission, like, the quest. So, Izuku does get from defeating the Demon King. He does get the Demon King's blood, which is purified. The Demon King's longsword, along with the Demon King's dagger. Plus the Demon King Monarch Ring, which gives another 20 plus sensibility and 20 plus intel. So he did go up twice. I'm gonna add that in, but let me just look back into this manga real quick. Kazel. Alright, so he is 43. He went over to the Wyvern. He named it, Kazel. His stats went up to 43, but not his stats, his level. He has a 30 plus stat bonus, so his stats go up by 30. So what happens next is I'm going to put that all together. So hold on everyone. Alright, so his stats are 352 for strength, 413 for agility, sense is 390, vitality is 415, and intelligence is basically 399, which he can do now 100 shadows. Not 100 shadows, 250 shadows, and he only has 33 points. So yeah. So as Izuku basically crafts the holy water of life with the purified blood, along with the along with the root, the tree bark and the scroll. He has to wait for it. It does take about 10 minutes or so, as Aza was asking about, are you crafting? He was like, yeah, it depends on my intelligence. I basically didn't know about this, but it's kind of good I put some points into it. Along with, I got help with the stat bonus. The plus 30 bonus to stats. Helps out. He shows it really does. Because yeah. And so, after 10 minutes are done, if it's a success and he still has left over, because it only does as much as he needs. Also, he looks at the set bonus he has, as then he gets because of his demonic ring. I think I did forget to put the plus 20 into it, and plus 20 for intel. Yeah. So basically, though, he has 5 and 10, so plus 15 too. So, but that's to all stats. So let me do this. So 390 plus 20% equals 410. And then for intelligence, it's 399 plus 20 equals 419, which that gives him about maybe 290. Alright, but now I have to add 15 to everything. So give me a moment. Alright, so his stats now are, because of all the stats get plus 15, there are 367 for strength, 428 for agility, sense 425, Vitality 430 and Intelligence 434, which now he does get like 95, 295 shadows he can summon and save. Oh yeah, and he does get the Demon King's longsword, along with the Demon King's daggers, and which he does, which then he looks at the upgrades, and he sees that he can combine the longsword and the katana together. So basically, he reads it as is just a extension to make the katana longer, that gives it the effects the of the longsword, the Demon King's longsword, which I'm going to have to look at it, but I'm not making him, do that. And the Demon King's daggers, I'm gonna keep them separate with the pistols and the daggers that he can switch out to. So yeah, so he has two sets of daggers at all times now. So yeah. I will be getting rid of the ingredients, and I will be writing all the items, well, the equipment and slash items he gets. Also, he does get the title with the rune stone. That it's Shadow Exchange. He gets it and he crushes it though. After he, gets the holy water of life that can cure any disease after crafting it. So, yeah, which he's happy and such. So so he has Shadow Exchange, and he doesn't know. He didn't put any shadows like outside, to where he can just like go out real quick. So he's like thinking, I should have done it. I should have, but I didn't. My bad. You knew I was gonna get this skill. He crushed the runestone like I said, but yeah. So he has the title Demon Hunter, which he's happy about that. And so Ezel tells him that she wants to as soon as they go back to her father, they'll celebrate. As Izuku says, yeah, we'll celebrate. We'll have a big feast. But he's thinking, time to cash in my reward. As Miko's saying, you were gonna take her with us. Take her with us back to your world. And he goes, yeah. But she does say, I don't think the system will allow it. And he goes, freak the system. I've been doing hard work and such, so I should allow her to. As well, Mika says, true. And so, they leave. They go back to Ezel's father's place. The castle, back to, the castle, as they report the good news. As it says, young Midoriya, he told her his name. He goes, what would you like as your reward? It was to have your daughter come with me back to my world. And which she was shot along with him. And he goes, what? Why? He was like, well, I like her, so I want to get to know her, and I can technically bring her back here at any point in time if I leave a shadow here. So, is that alright? As he kind of thinks about it, and then he kind of thinks, if they have a child, it'll be a strong warrior. My clan will be, the better one. Even though we're the only one, we will be strong then. And he goes, alright, I accept your terms as long as you promise me 3 things. He goes, all right, you don't break my daughter's heart. You treat her with respect and you protect her at all cost. He says, got it. So yeah, as basically Ezel and they basically celebrate for a little bit. He does explain that he has to go though because of his mother. He explained the situation about her, which the father, as the father, understood right away. So Ezel packed up her things, and Izuku did tell her that you're gonna have to wear some clothing. Some clothing of my world. So he basically just gives her some, and she's looking at it and liking it. He just gave her a shirt that's kind of big, along with like some jeans, some regular shoes, and socks. So yeah. And she comes out, her father was like amazed by it, and he just says, so we're gonna be going now? And he goes, alright. And so, what happens is, when they get outside, Izuku's son's Kazel, and they get on it, which the father's shocked by this, and he goes, see you around, as they just fly off. They go right through the portals, going to each floor down very quickly, and then like they get to the first floor in a matter of like 45 minutes, and well, they leave the tower. He left a shadow there, so yeah. And then he comes back, and they get back to the real world. The dungeon key, like he still has, and he looks back, hoping that Azel's there, and she's there. She's looking at it. And she goes, "Oh my, like Izuku, this is amazing. This is your world. What are those?" He goes, "Those are cars. They're vehicles, transportation." And she sees people with weird features and people showing off their quirks and stuff. She goes, "What are those?" He goes, "People's quirks. They're like powers. I'll explain on the way. Like the dragon is not like he had to put away his dragon like Kazel. So yeah. So they get over to the hospital, which is show like just basically had Mika like show herself to her and have them like talk because Izuku Izuku called up the hospital, tell him he's on his way. He's been gone for about 3 days or so. So yeah. So they go to the hospital, and Mika explained everything about the world to her, which she understood somewhat, but she's still gonna have a grasp of it. So Izuku gets over to see his mom, along with, Ezel. She's with him. And, which Inko basically says, Izuku, who's this? And he was like, this is Ezel, my friend, and and she goes, and basically, mother instincts know. She goes, oh, you like her, and he goes, Mom, shush. And, even though he knows, she knows, because he kind of told her, it's still embarrassing. So his face is red, and her face is red. So, the doctor comes and he goes, so, did you find it? As he goes, yeah, here. As he hands it to the doctor. As the doctor says, alright, I trust you, kid. If anything happens to your mom, it's on you. He goes, alright, I'm willing to accept that. I'll be gone in a matter of minutes if anything bad happens anyways. He goes, alright, whatever. As he heals her. He gives her the drink. And a few minutes later, they decide, alright, I'll be back in 20 minutes. So then we're gonna get the test ready. And she goes, alright. So Izuku tells his mom what he did. He's keeping it, like talking very low. Ezel is like telling her who she is. And she saw that, Izuku has a demon as a girlfriend. Well, going to. As, Ezel's kind of like calling his hand because she is kind of like, scared a little because of building and technology and such. And, Izuku says, Mom, is she going to be living with us? And she goes, of course, sweetie, she is. and I get to meet my future, granddaughter, my future daughter-in-law, or my future daughter, face-in-law. As his face goes bright red, it's almost as Zuko is like, "Mom!" And so, the doctor comes back after, the 20 minutes. They go get her test. And about 40 minutes later, she comes back. I mean, Izuku basically is just waiting. And the doctor comes. And he goes, "Kid, I don't know what that was. But your mom's perfectly fine. She's cured." You just, how? He goes, "I just found something, and I just saw something found something a while back, and I just looked for the ingredients, which are very rare and very hard to find, which I think they're the only ones left that were just to make that one potion, that one elixir, well, to save her." And he just says, "Well, you're lucky." So, Izuku comes, and his mom's already, changed and getting ready to, get out. Mitsuki, is gonna get, so basically, is Inko, hugs after she gets on her shoes. She walks over to Izuku and hugs him and thanks him. He says, "I'll do anything for you, Mom, no matter what. I'm never losing you." So yeah, so then she signs out. She calls up Mitsuki saying she's perfectly healthy. Izuku, had her, well, found it and she's healed. So, and that he has a girlfriend now. And he goes, "Maybe," as Ezo was just holding his arm and just saying, "We are." And he was like, "I have a girlfriend now. So quickly. Brain can't process." And, old Izuku kind of bag and, brain overheats. So yeah. As was wondering what's wrong, as Inko says, that happens when he uses his brain too much, or he's too embarrassed, or can't understand something. You're his very first girlfriend, so this is gonna happen. And she goes, "Oh, alright." And so, Izuku, Azel, and Inko go back to, well, Izuku and Inko go back to their place along with Ezel. Inko shows Ezel to a room that she can go and live in. So yeah, Mitsuki, Bakugo, and her husband do come over as Inko's helping Ezel with some clothing that she can borrow until they can go out and buy some new ones. And she teaches her some things because she explained that her way was wearing night clothes, wearing armor and such, and clothing that's not this soft and or fabric, so different. So yeah, which Inko understands. And so, as soon Misi comes over, she asks Inko, "Are you sure you're fine and all?" And he says, "Yeah." Bakugo just looking at, well, Deku, just grinning and just asks, "So, how strong you got?" He goes, "Really strong. Trust me, you don't want to fight me anymore." I was like, "Alright, I'm gonna catch up to you someday, and I'll be able to outmatch you one day, and I'll put you back in your place underneath my foot." Which in Mitsuki's about to say something, Deku says, "Yeah, when that day comes, it's the day where, well, you saved my life." Which will never happen, Bakugo. And they just glare at each other and then they just laugh, which Ezel did came out and goes "Izu, why were you..." And he goes, "Oh, just some friendly rivalry going on." She goes, "Oh, okay." Which Bakugo looks at him, and so does Mitsuki and her husband, and he goes, "That's my girlfriend." And she comes over and hugs Izuku, and Bakugo's jaw drops along with, and Mitsuki just happy and surprised. And Bakugo's father's also jaw dropped. So yeah, she's asking Izuku questions how they met and such. He probably figured they were gonna have to make up some story, so he kind of talked to Ezel and Ingo about this, and they just kind of a story they met. Well, he does online, but he met her near a flower shop nearby, which they do have one. And well, they exchange numbers, and after talking, they started talking. She had a bad situation at home, so she decided to come over, live over here. We started dating though, a couple weeks ago. It was during the 10 months. So, yeah. And which Mitsuki, Bakugo, her husband are just like shocked. But Mitsuki's happy and Bakugo's happy. So yeah. Along with, also his father's happy too. But Bakugo's father's also happy for him. So yeah. Bakugo takes pictures of her, of Azel and Izuku, sends it to the group chat. Denki, Mina, and Kirishima about it, which they're just saying, "No way!" Mina says, "Wow, Izuku know how, basically, Izuku has good taste." Which, Kirishima says, "Yeah." Denki just says, "I want a girlfriend." And so it's just funny. So, this is where I'm going to leave it off, because that's how far as I read into the manga. And I'm going to have to sleep now. So, I hope you guys enjoy this video. Next part is, though, Camelot. And, well, finding a sword of legend. You know what? I'm just going to put a title for that, for part 6. It's going to be that. Solo, what if Deku had a solo leveling system? Part 6. And then the Sword of Legend. But anyways, I hope you guys have a nice day, night, wherever you are. Enjoy everything. Have a good day. Bye, everyone.